So we're doing this now. I have returned from my month-long absence of doing absolutely nothing to bring you guys the worst video I've ever made. This is the most crackable Glitch Productions characters. Nowadays, it's a pretty common thing among the interwebs to be attracted to a character originating from a Glitch Productions show. I've been there since the SMG4 days, around the 2017 mark, approximately a few months before Meggy got added to the cast, and holy shit, what do you mean it's been 8 years? Man, the passage of time is such a cruel mistress. The point is, I've been a semi-frequent connoisseur of Glitch Productions videos and series, but one thing has been semi-consistent. There's so many baddies in these shows, like oh my god, there's so many characters that awaken feelings I thought long dormant within me, and in my pee-wee experience brand new things. Also, men are applicable for this video because this is a progressive YouTube channel where you objectify women and women equally here. Even though there's only gonna be like one dude here that we discussed, but it's a thought that counts. The characters from this video will be presented from who I like the least to most. With that all said and done, let's do this. Let's get this one out of the way. If you know me online, there's a chance that you saw this inclusion coming. In fact, I even announced a video for a GIF of her. But for some of you, I will be shocked to learn that I don't actually really care about her that much, to be honest. The truth is that I never really connected with her personality-wise. I legit cannot remember a single character trait she had which wasn't just sleeping, hacking, and acting childish. And before any of you all come at me and accuse me of being like a Kiss Players fan, first off, her age was revealed to be 21 years old and to be with a class member at her birthday. Second off, my attraction to her is mainly for her design. Sure, it doesn't really communicate what little character traits she actually has, but she's really attractive, oh my god. When I first saw her human form, something just snapped. Something inside me. It's really hard for me to pinpoint exactly without sounding completely deranged, but she's the perfect blend of cute and hot. I mean, just look at her. And she can get even hotter in a fierce deity form. Yes, the one from Legend of Zelda. For the record, I have not played any Legend of Zelda game. My only experience was Breath of the Wild, which I had a really bad time with and I hated the game, but I'm open to trying it again. It's hard to really describe, but to sum it up, a toothpick can change everything. They gave her a different style, a different swag, which makes them more alluring. Oh. Wait, what the fuck you mean she has a criminal record? I'm betting some of you all are asking right now, who is this? And I'll be happy to explain. Sunset Paradise was an attempt to branch off Meggy, who was the most popular character at the time, into her own series, which makes sense because it sort of did something like that for Tari, but there's a whole thing I'll get into a bit later at the end. It was pretty forgetful on its own in my opinion, but the highlights were the Funky Force, who won't be talked about there because I'm not attracted to any of them, and Whisk herself. I remember really liking her as an antagonist in the show. No, I did not rewatch any of this prior to recording and writing. Fuck you. She sort of had like this thing where she wore a mask and was more assertive and menacing with it on. But it's removed, she was all shy and scared. Some people say it's like a separate personality, but personally, I like to interpret it as how people online act like myself, which Whisk only acted outgoing and assertive because with it on, no one really recognized her, which allowed her to indulge her with like her true self, if that makes sense. Kinda like what like the actual Jekyll and Hyde was supposed to be, but so yeah. Anyways, I do wish she was more confident without the mask because she's so pretty, like look at her. But I do like the way she is as a bit of a girl failure. I think it's kind of cute and endearing in my opinion. If only you're in a better series, Whisk, you'll forever live in our memories, at the very least mine and mine alone, because no one else really remembers her. It's honestly crazy that Jax fumbled them. In the context of the Amazing Digital Circus, we don't really get to experience much time with them, but from what we did see with them via flashbacks is that she was a lovely person who clearly loved to be around their friends, which she was funny enough to get along with Jax, but chill enough to get along with anyone. She had a pretty balanced personality. We also know that spoilers for Amazing Digital Circus, by the way. She was actually a brain scan duplicate of a real world, or at least in the Amazing Digital Circus real world, person known as Lee. At the time, Lee broke away from their Mormon parents for not following their beliefs, and also potentially because she was genderqueer. They go by she, they pronouns. I'll try to get my best to remember it. But one day, she decided to open up about their experiences to Jax, which caused her to open back up to Ribbit. But after that, Jax fumbled the bag in a flabbergasting way by cutting all contact with Ribbit. What in the actual fuck? You were forming a worthwhile connection with someone who clearly cared for you, and she was also a baddie as well. I'm going on a brief tangent here, but that made Ribbit really attractive. Like, it might be my fried Gooner brain talking here, but she's really a nice body figure here. But back to Jax, she could have had a generational streak of Ribbits, but she had to throw it away. If you're not gonna play, pass the controller! Also, cough mode's kinda cute. If you watch my videos regularly, you may recall that at the end of my previous video, the Superboy Prime video, which you should totally watch by the way, I called Kit from Gamerverse a baddie, and I still stand by that. Personally, my taste of further developed, and I don't think Misinformation is hotter in general. So Misinformation is supposed to be an evil tutorial character, and in the world of Gamerverse, she's a member of Syntax, or however it's pronounced, an evil organization dedicated to the destruction of game worlds. Essentially, the universe of Gamerverse consists of multiple worlds which are sustained via a loop, and since most games have a hero, if the hero wins, the game world is destroyed because the game ended, or at least that's what we know so far. It's just a pilot so far, and I can tell there's something afoot to this, and it's gonna be a twist, so I don't really know. But from what I've gathered so far, Misinformation was also a survivor of a destroyed game world. She's sassy, mean, and a bit rude, but personally, I like it when women are mean to me. Also, I know people go crazy for a swimsuit look, and I do get the appeal, I really do, but personally her default attire is more hotter for me. I don't really know about her at the moment, but I really do hope Gamerverse gets picked up so we can see more of her specifically. Also, Fold is pretty cool. He's essentially her shapeshifting sidekick who's like paper, and she bullies relentlessly. What a lucky prick. Some of you all knew she was gonna be in this video. I even literally covered her last year in my hottest disassembly drone video. But since most of my viewer base haven't seen it, I'm gonna give a bit of a refresher. Jay is the disassembly drone for murder drones. They're essentially brainwashed or manipulated, it's not really clear, worker drones who are forcibly augmented on by an eldritch abomination and is the absolute solver who loves to destroy planets or something. Jay is the leader of the trio of disassembly drones, and I'm sorry, I'm not gonna cover V. I do find her attractive as well. Kinda of the least of the trio. She's not a bad character or not up to my standards, it's just her preferences. What makes Jay cool is that she's sassy, mean, and a bit rude. Wait, did I already cover that? Damn, maybe I do have a type. But what gives her the edge over Misinformation are two qualities. One being is that she's a bit more fleshed out. You see, she was only throwing the episodes over till the end because she wanted to be left alone along with V and N. In a sort of demented way, she was protecting him, even though she was going out in like the worst possible way. Another thing to know about Jay is that she's absolutely a quote-unquote power bottom, for lack of a better term, because she seems domineering and controlling, but she's also pretty happy to follow orders from anyone giving them out, particularly due to her past as a worker drone. She like prefers it with corporate like slogan and slang and shit, but yeah. Her second quality is her design. Clothes make the man, or woman in this case. And Jay is super stylish. She's wearing a suit and tie, which I find really hot. Also, apparently her garter straps are actually just paint made to look like that, which is cool attention to detail. It gives her the legs the effect of having thighs, which is pretty cool. But as much as I like Jay, she can never be... Yup, here he is. My awakening. N is by all definitions a really sweet person. He's loyal, willing to do anything to please people he admires. Better and for worse. He's also pretty cute and even looks dapper in his suit and tie. I guess he does have something in common with Jay after all. I also really liked his arc in Murder Drone. Seeing him overcome his trauma with Uzi and solidifying their relationship was really nice to watch over the whole series and was a pretty big highlight as well. And N himself was also pretty cute. The main thing which does it for me is his build and his hair. He's tall and slender and his head just makes me want to put my hands through and feel it. I know I was like my initial thought when thinking of buying this, but fuck it, we ball. Man, Uzi's lucky she gets a beating from every night. It should have been me. Some of you might not have seen this pick coming, and the other half might be baffled, but let me explain. Tari's probably the first character I've had feelings for in general. You see, back when I was 12, I never had a single crush on a fictional character. Sure, there were characters I like, but not love-like. Then everything changed when SMG4 released Mario the Ultimate Gamer around 2018. That was when I was introduced to one of my favorite characters, period. Tari was pretty unique along the SMG4 cast. She didn't have a crazy personality, nor was she really, like, stupid. She was just normal. Or as all as you can get when you're like a cyborg. The point is that despite all of that, Tari was a kind, lovely, and overall pleasant character to be around. And she certainly had a massive effect on me. In fact, I even went online in the first place in order to meet people like her. My PFP character is literally just a heavy modified version of a Tari screenshot from Mario and the Anime Challenge. I owe my 120 subscriber count and 700 followers to this one character changed my life in a way I couldn't foresee, and I'm forever grateful for it. And in Metrorun, I made her even more of a baddie. Prior to Metrorun, I was mainly in love with Tari for her personality. Yeah, I know, I sound like a redditor, but I mean, it's time to shut the fuck up. But Metrorunner essentially took that inner beauty and went down to town with her. Her gorgeous purple eyes, her blue hair, she had an insane glob. I mean, she's a separate character for the sake of this video and condensing them into a composite Tari. And that was my look at the most baddest characters in Glitch Productions. If I left anyone out, it's because I either forgot about them or just don't find them attractive. I'm not gonna do a part 2 unless I just announce a crap ton more series of endless baddies. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, like, and subscribe to my channel. I promise I'm not usually gooned out here as I am normally. Please believe me, officer. Please don't.